Hi students, welcome back to Wisdom Academy YouTube channel. In the previous video, we have learnt about the relationship between electric field and electric potential. Also, you could find the electric potential at arbitrary point. Today, we are going to start the class with a numerical about what we learned in the previous class. And the numerical goes like this. An infinite plane sheet of charge density 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb per meter square is held in air. In this position, how far apart are two equivalent surface whose potential difference is 5 volt. So this word equipotential surface would be sounding new to you. In today's video we will learn about this. What is that? In short, I will tell you now. As the name is saying, equipotential surface. It is a surface where the potential is equal at all the points. So suppose it can be a line, it can be a surface, it can be a volume, it can be anything. Where at all the points, if the potential are same, then that surface is called as equipotential surface. So what they have told, there are infinite plane sheet, something like this. There is a sheet and it has charge density of 10 to the power minus 8. So sigma value is given as 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb per meter square. And they are asking, see, if there is a charge here, then definitely there will be electric field. If there is electric field, there will be definitely electric potential. So they are saying 2 points, two different equivalent surface. That means let one be here, let one be here, and they have given the potential difference of these two, that is given as 5 volt. So potential difference of, suppose it is A plate and this B plate, they have given the value of VA minus VB, and that is equal to 5 volt, or I can say delta dV is equal to 5 volt, right? Now what you have to find? You have to find the value of how far they are kept. So we know that sigma is equal to not sigma, E, electric field due to the infinite plane is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. At the same time, in the previous class I have told you that electric field and electric potential are related by E is equal to minus dV by dr. Let us equate these two. So I get sigma by 2 epsilon naught is equal to minus dV by dr. So we have to find the value of dr, distance between them. So dr will be equal to minus dV is given as 5 volt into 2 into epsilon naught is 8.85 and 10 to the power minus 12 and divided by sigma. Sigma is given 10 to the power minus 8. So when you solve, that much meter would be your distance between these two equipotential surface. Let us see one more question. A spark passes in air when the potential gradient at the surface of the charged conductor is 3 × 10⁻⁶ volt per meter. What must be the radius of the insulated metal sphere which can be charged to a potential of 3 × 10⁻⁶ volt before sparking? So what they have given in this question, they have given potential gradient. What is potential gradient? dV by dr, and it is given as 3 × 10⁻⁶ volt per meter. And what they are asking you to find? They are asking you to find the radius of the insulated sphere which can be charged to a potential of this much. This is the value of potential V they have given. So from here we can write dV is equal to 3 × 10⁻⁶ into dr. So we have to find the value of r. So integrate on both the sides. If you integrate, you will get V is equal to 3 × 10⁻⁶ into r, and V is given as 3 × 10⁻⁶. So here 3 × 10⁻⁶ into r. So r will be equal to, these two gets cancelled, 1 meter. So radius of the insulated metal sphere should be 1 meter. Now we will learn about equipotential surface, what we saw in the previous question. So first you write what is equipotential surface. Please make a note of that. It is a surface on which the electric potential is same at all the points. I will repeat once again. It is a surface in which the electric potential is same at all the points. That means electric potential will not change over this equipotential surface. So how we draw equipotential surface? All the points of same potential, if we join by a line or by a surface, then that particular surface is known as equipotential surface, right? So it is a very important question which can be asked in school examination. Define equipotential surface, right? Now we will see what are the properties of equipotential surface. So what are the properties of equipotential surface? You are going to see now. The first property is electric field is always perpendicular to equipotential surface. That means if this is a surface, then electric field will be in this direction. That is, it will be perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Always remember that electric field will be perpendicular, will be normal to the equipotential surface. If this is the surface, this will be the value of electric field, right? Second point is work done in moving a charge from one point to other point in an equipotential surface is 0. Why is it 0? Because I told you equipotential surface will have same potential at all the points. There is no potential difference, and we know that potential difference is equal to work done per unit charge. So what will be work done? Work done will be equal to potential difference into charge. Potential difference itself is 0, work done will also become equal to 0. So over an equipotential surface, the work done to move a charge will always be 0. Very important point. Third point is no two equipotential surface can intersect each other. They don't, because if it is happening, then at same point we have two different values of potential, which is not possible. If there are two surfaces intersecting like this, one and one here, at this point I have two different values of V, which is not possible. So we can say that no two equipotential surfaces will ever intersect each other. And the fourth point is stronger field makes equipotential surface to be close and weaker field makes it to be far. That means to say that if the electric field is very strong, at that point the surface will be very close to each other, or vice versa. If you see there, equipotential surfaces are very close to each other, you can say it is the area of higher electric field, and where the surfaces are far from each other, that will be area of lesser electric field. But why? Because E is equal to minus dV by dr. If suppose dV becomes constant, I can say electric field is inversely proportional to dr. That means if electric field value is high, dr is low. So if electric field is high, the distance between two surfaces will be very, very low. That is the reason whenever you have a high electric field or strong electric field, we have the surfaces very close to each other. These are the properties of electric lines of forces, very, very important from the school point of view. So you have understood what is an equipotential surface and what are the properties of this equipotential surface. Now I will give you one work, and that work is you have to draw the equipotential surfaces of various kinds of arrangement of charge. Suppose it is a single charge, how will its equipotential surface be? If it is a two charge system, both are like charges, then what is the shape of equipotential surface? If it is unlike, or if it is electric field, what is the equipotential surface? So you should, your homework or your work is to draw all these things. You can even refer NCERT book for this, and in a notebook please make a drawing of all these equipotential surfaces for various kinds of arrangements of charges. Fine. Now we are going to see electric potential energy. So till now we are talking about electric potential. Now we are going to see electric potential energy. They both are very much linked. What is electric potential? Electric potential was the work done to bring a unit positive charge from infinite to a point, right? So under the influence of some other field. So what we did, we found what is the work done, or I should say work done per unit charge, because when you wrote potential, you wrote work done per unit charge. V was found to be work done per unit charge, you remember? So it is the work done in bringing a charge from infinite to that point under the influence of an external electric field. That was electric potential. This work done, right? This work done will be stored as an energy, and that is electric potential energy. So electric potential energy is the work done in bringing a charge from one point to another point if there is already a charge present. So see, electric potential energy is very similar. Electric potential is work done per unit charge, whereas electric potential is that what is the work done? That work done is only the electric potential. It is stored in the body, in the charge as potential. So electric potential energy is the work done in bringing a system of charge, I will say two charges, from infinite to that point. You can write this definition also. And electric potential energy is represented by U, and what will be its value? You can see from here itself. So we know that V is equal to K Q by R. Am I right? And this work that I am saying it as potential energy, so V is equal to U by Q. So what will be U? U will be equal to V into Q, right. So if it is Q and this is Q naught, then I can write this as V into Q naught, and U will become equal to V is K Q Q naught by R. So electric potential energy is K Q Q naught by R. And what would be its SI unit? SI unit of energy is joules. Joules, or it is also represented in electron volts. How the electron volt came? See, U is V into Q, right. So Q is in E and V is in volt. So from here only we got electron volt, and you will find that what is the value of one electron volt? So 1 electron volt will be equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. This is the conversion of electron volt to joules. And if you are wondering how it came from here only. So V for 1 volt of potential, then U will be equal to 1 into, we know if value of E is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So this came as 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. This is also called as 1 electron volt. So 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. You should not confuse, because we have learned 3-4 quantities now. First we saw electric field, before that we saw electric force. So electrostatic force F is equal to K Q1 Q2 by R square. Then we saw electric field, which was K Q by R square, and then we saw electric potential, which was K Q by R, and now we saw electric potential energy, which is K Q Q naught or K Q1 Q2 by R, right. So there are 4 different quantities. Don't confuse in any of these things. They are very similar to each other, but they are different from each other. Okay. Now let us see what is the electric potential energy of a dipole in uniform electric field. See, you have seen the electric field due to a dipole, you have seen electric potential due to a dipole. Now we will see what is the electric potential energy of a dipole in uniform electric field. So let me assume there is a uniform electric field, and this uniform electric field I have placed my dipole, right. So when I place dipole, it is a uniform electric field. So understand that on this charge minus Q and this charge plus Q, there will be force acting. Here QE will act and here minus QE will act, right. So these two forces will cancel out each other. So there will be no net translational force. Already I have told you in electric field, and there will only be one force which is called as torque, which will tend to move the dipole. So dipole kept like this, if torque is acting on it, will start moving it, and that torque was equal to force into perpendicular distance, and we found the value of torque, and torque was found to be P cross E or PE sin theta. I hope you remember this. This we learned in the previous chapter itself, that torque acting on a dipole kept in uniform electric field is P cross E or PE sin theta. Now what I am saying, this dipole, suppose it has a torque in this direction and it is moving in clockwise direction like this. Okay. Now what I do, I take this one end of the dipole and I move it against this torque, and then I leave it. What will happen? It will acquire some energy, and with energy it will rebound back, right. So I am going to find that energy inside the dipole. So if I move it to some angle theta, then the small work done in that moving the small angle d theta. So to move the dipole against torque, the work done, first I will find a small work done and then I will integrate. dW will be equal to torque into d theta for a small angle d theta, and for rotating it from theta 1 to theta 2, I can write integration of dW from 0 to W is equal to tau, and d theta integration from theta 1 to theta 2. We know what is the value of torque. I can write inside like here, torque into d theta. We know what is torque. So I can write this as 0 to W, dW is equal to torque is PE sin theta d theta, integration from theta 1 to theta 2. So W is equal to, what is sin theta integration? It is minus cos theta. So PE minus cos theta, limit is from theta 1 to theta 2. Upper limit minus lower limit, minus sign is there. So it will become PE cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So this is the work done to move any dipole against the torque from theta 1 to theta 2. This work done will be stored as electric potential energy. So electric potential energy of any dipole can be written as Pe to cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Now what you should be careful about is this theta 1 and theta 2. So theta 1 is the initial position and theta 2 is to what angle you have brought it, right? So suppose I take theta 1 as 90 degree. Then what will the equation will be? Cos 90 is how much? 0. So I can write U dipole is equal to, and theta 2 is theta. So theta will be equal to Pe minus cos theta. So this is also an expression, but the basic expression is Pe cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2, which says that electric potential energy of any dipole which is moved against the torque is stored inside the torque as Pe cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Let us see one question now. 3 points A, B and C lie in a uniform electric field of 5 into 10 power 3 Newton per coulomb as shown in figure. Find potential difference between A and C. So you want to find what is the potential difference between A and C for this condition where the electric field is uniform and electric field is given as 5 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per coulomb. Now, one second, if you see properly, B and C lie, see if you draw a plane here, then I can say that B and C are the points on an equipotential surface. So, VB will be equal to VC. We know by the properties of equipotential surface, VB will be equal to VC, and so we can say that what is the potential difference between A and B will be equal to potential difference between A and C. So potential difference between A and B and A and C will be equal. Why I have done this? Because A and C it is difficult to find, but A and B it is very easy to find. How it is easy to find? We know that since E is equal to minus dV by dr or dx, whatever. So E is equal to minus dV by dr, there is distance between them. So this point distance is how much? This will be 5 3 root over 25 minus 9, it will be 4 centimeter, right? It will be 4 centimeter. So dr is known to us 4 centimeter. So what will be dV? Potential difference E into dx. So we can write dV will be equal to minus E dr. So I can write from here potential difference. This is the potential difference between A and B. So potential difference between A and C will be equal to minus E into dr. So what is E? E is 5 into 10 to the power 3, and what is dr? Dr is 4 into 10 to the power minus 2. So if you solve this, 5 out of 20 and one more 0 will come. So minus 200 volt is the potential difference between A and C. It's very simple. Let us see one more question. An LED dipole of length 2 cm is placed with its axis making an angle of 60 degree with a uniform electric field of 10 to the power 5 Newton per coulomb. If it experiences a torque of 8 root 3 Newton meter, calculate magnitude of charge and potential of the dipole. So this first thing, this magnitude of charge on dipole, we can find from the knowledge of previous unit itself. We know that torque is equal to P E sin theta. Torque is known to us 8 root 3. What is P? P is Q into 2D, and electric field is 10 to the power 5. Theta is given as 60 degree, sin 60 degree. So Q is what we want to find. 2D is also given, distance between is 2 centimeter. So I can write here 8 root 3 is equal to Q into 0.02 into 10 to the power 5 sin 60. So when you put everything into picture, Q will become equal to 8 root 3 by 0.02 into 10 to the power 5 into root 3 by 2. When you solve this, that much coulomb will be the charge. This is the first part. Second part is potential energy. That also we have learned now, minus Pe cos theta. So P is Q into 2D. Now Q will get from here. Directly you can put the value of Q from here, and 2D is 0.02, right, into cos 60 degree, 1 by 2. So when you put everything into picture, you will get this much joules as the potential energy of this particular dipole. Very simple question. So in today's video, what you have learned? You have learned what is equipotential surface and what are the properties of equipotential surface. Then you saw what is electric potential energy, you saw electric potential energy of a dipole, and then we solved few numericals based upon it. In the next class, I will start the next topic, that is capacitance. Till then, I expect from you to solve all the questions from your textbook that will help you in preparing for this chapter. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe our channel and share with your friends. Thank you very much.